In the beginning, this was supposed to be a scripted movie. However, after one occurrence with my co-investigators Sarah and Melinda on our digital recorder, the script was forgotten. Sarah, Melinda, and I went into one of the rooms right after a group of kids ran through, and I immediately started to feel like what I was doing was not safe, and you can hear me right after Sarah talks react to what was going on. Shortly after this, we got our first piece of evidence. Here is the recording from the digital recorder. It was then that we decided to make this into a real investigation. We are... EVPs, or electronic voice phenomenon, are captured using digital recorders. Digital recorders can pick up sound from both higher and lower frequency levels than the human ear can perceive. We use digital recorders in every investigation in order to capture voices that we might not be able to hear. After we found the first EVP, I decided that we had to go back again. I was joined by fellow investigators and friends, Kayla, Hannah, and Zach. After walking around and conducting several EVP sessions without finding anything, we decided to go outside. Now we grouped outside, I decided to continue rolling on my digital recorder, which is where we would catch our next piece of evidence. What you're about to hear is a recording from my digital recorder due to the fact that my camera had mysteriously died while I was in the middle of filming.
What was this pit here? That was abandoned. Yeah. It was, used to put ships.
What was strange about this was that my camera had died right when we started to get activity. I knew in my head not to document the fact that my camera had died because I figured that we were catching something. However, I was not expecting it to go on for this amount of time, which is why we talked through it. Believing we had caught nothing, it was time for us to go home, unaware of what we had just captured. After going home and finding 2 new EVPs, I decided to try going back one more time. I was again joined by Kayla, Kayla's sister Kristen, and our friend Kate. We walked around for hours taking pictures and conducting several EVP sessions in different rooms without finding anything. It was then that I decided it was time to bring my team to what I started calling the children room, which was the room where we caught our first few EVPs to see what we could find. After about 15 minutes of not catching anything on the session, we finally caught something interesting. We will leave it up to you to decide whether or not it is paranormal.
Can you come over in this room and move something for us? You okay?
Though I did not say it out loud, I was reacting to the fact that my digital recorder, which was completely still the whole time, had just shook in my hands.
Do you like my recorder? Can you talk into it for us?
Are you next to me? Presents.
We know you're here. Kristen, did you say you are really cold?
What's odd about this is that if you look carefully after the camera malfunctions to the left of Kristen, you can make out something that looks like an orb of light. Here it is again.
Are you next to me? Presents.
We know you're here. Kristen, did you say you are really cold?
I'm not claiming that this was an actual spirit, but it was just odd to see this ball of light right after my recorder was moved to my hand and Kristen begins to feel a presence. Soon, we would all feel the same presence in the room.
Can you say something?
We can all feel you.
I feel it.
Today, I was joined by Kayla and Lizzie, who are helping me film the opening reenactments of the film. Lizzie, having heard some of my evidence, asked if she could do an EVP session with us, not knowing what we would find. Hold it out like straight, yeah.
What is your name?
Why are you here?
After teaching Lizzie what to do, we started to ask questions. We didn't hear or feel anything until a few minutes later.
Can you do something to show us that you're here?
Can you do something to show us that you're here?
When Kayla asked for it to show us it was there, we all heard a sound similar to a rock being thrown. Online there is actually an article saying that this has happened before in this room, and I truly believe that we caught the sound. Here it is again.
Can you do something to show us that you're here?
You knock on the wall once if you want us to leave or stay. What? Did you hear a knock? No. Did you? Yeah. You knock on the wall once if you want us to leave or stay. What? Did you hear a knock? No. Did you? Yeah. I'm deaf anyways. Can you show Lizzie that you're here?
Though our audio was not able to pick up the noise, Lizzie was able to hear the next knocking sound. After the knocking, we went a couple minutes without getting anything. Lizzie started to get curious and asked different questions about the voices and such that we had caught before.
Were they a soldier?
We think it's a nurse, because every time we get it, it sounds like a woman,
Really?
Not crying, but like she's kind of happy.
How many people do they help?
I don't know. We're trying to figure that out.
If you listen very carefully, you can hear what sounds like a woman saying the word enough. Here it is again with enhanced audio.
How many people do they help? I don't know. How many people do they help?
I don't know. We're trying to figure that out.
This would be the last piece of evidence that we caught in this room, and it was time for us to leave and go home. We all plan to go back to this room sometime in the future to see what else we can find. But for now, we had to leave this place and those who reside in it alone.